Welcome. This is Donna Benton, and I am the Practical Living Specialist for Jefferson County Public Schools. And this session is about developing quality student growth goals, which is part of the Teacher Professional Growth and Effectiveness System. And you all have been trained in your school on general student growth goals. This session is meant to support you specifically as you apply your general knowledge to the areas of physical education and health education. Let's talk now about student growth. Student growth is defined as the change in student achievement between two or more points in time. It's a quantitative measure of the impact a teacher has on a set of students measured by student growth goal setting and student growth percentiles. Percentiles, however, apply only to the tested areas. So in physical education and health education, we will focus only on student growth goal setting. It's also one of multiple measures of the TPGES. And you're probably already familiar with observation, peer observation, self-reflection, professional growth, student voice, and now student growth. It's a rating that won't count until the beginning of the 14-15 school year, but this rating is the degree to which a teacher meets the growth goal for a set of students over an identified interval of instruction. And practically, the student growth goal will be written in SITs, which you are already familiar. Let's look at criteria for our student growth goal. First, it must be based on the Kentucky Core Academic Standards for the grade level and content area that you are teaching for which it was developed. It must represent an enduring skill or an enduring process or an enduring understanding. It must allow high and low achieving students to adequately master and demonstrate their knowledge. It must provide access and opportunity for all students, including students with disabilities, English language learners, and gifted and talented students. It must be determined in collaboration with or approved by the administrators of the teacher. And it must have a clear purpose, a clear target, be of sound design, effective communication, and student involvement. So let's differentiate between enduring skills and other skills that are needed for learning in your content. A skill in general is defined as competent excellence in performance. A skill is competency and the ability to perform. A skill is not a strategy or finite content. So let's focus on enduring skills. To find the big rocks, ask yourself, what larger guidance supports the cohesiveness of all the grade level standards from K to 12? Where in your national and state standards do you find the big rocks, the big concepts, the underlying practices and processes that support competency? So let's define enduring. It endures beyond a single test date. It is of value in other disciplines. it is relevant beyond the classroom, is worthy of embedded, course-long focus, and may be necessary for the next level of instruction. Going deeper in enduring skills. What it isn't, it is not a sub-skill or explicit content knowledge. It's not a skill with limited application or just a strategy for learning. An enduring skill is worthy of extended focus, fundamental to learning in other disciplines, an aptitude that has value and utility beyond one narrow context, is foundational for the application of content, applicable beyond school, and can be measured over time. In March of 2014, KDE released the first round of PE and health enduring skills. We will provide you a link to your appropriate level and content for deeper examination. KDE released enduring skills for our following contents and levels: high school physical education, middle school physical education, elementary intermediate physical education, elementary primary physical education, high school health, middle school health. Your process of student growth goal writing begins at the base of this triangle. You will start with your content area standards, both national and KCAS. You will identify the enduring skills in your content area or use KDE's initial list that we just previewed. You will identify what proficiency looks like in this enduring skill that you picked. You will identify the sources of evidence that you need to be in place to measure students' level of proficiency in this enduring skill. You will then target your students' priority need and establish a baseline so that you can measure student growth. Now we're ready to focus on goal setting for the student growth process. This handout is available on KDE's website. We will also provide you the direct link for further study. The first steps were completed on the previous triangle. Step 2 is creating a specific learning goal. And your student growth goal has to have SMART characteristics. SMART goal characteristics are 1, specific, M, measurable, A, appropriate, R, realistic, and T, time-bound. And in our areas of physical education and health education, you will select only one course during the whole year for your student growth goal. KDE has also developed a 5-page Think and Plan guidance tool for developing your student growth goals. They take you through each of the steps. Pictured here is step 1, determining the need. This 5-page tool is available on KDE's website, and we will also provide it for you. We also have prepared and will provide for you sample student growth goals in health education and physical education. Our Chief Academic Officer has stated that we will not use student fitness testing as student growth goals in the areas of health education nor physical education. We'd like to stress that the sample student growth goals we will make available to you will be seen as samples and not models. We are each called to write our own student growth goal based on our class need and all of the criteria previously provided. Both KDE and JCPS have developed rubrics to help you with your student growth goals. And again, they are available both on KDE's website, and we will provide you this rubric. But it asks you to examine first the structure of the goal and gives you criteria to determine if it is acceptable or if it needs revision. It also examines the rigor of the goal and sources and kinds of evidence. And they give you criteria for it, if it's acceptable or if it needs revision. And finally, the comparability of data and evidence of student learning or student growth. And they give you criteria to reflect if yours is acceptable or if it needs revision. Finally, both KDE and JCPS are requiring peer review process. And if you are not in an authentic school-based health or physical education PLC, we recommend a district-based health or PE PLC for your peer review process. Because it says that you have to have a PLC or a grade level or a group or a department team to implement a peer review process to ensure that each teacher's student growth goal and rubric is rigorous and comparable. Then your supervisors will approve your teacher-developed and peer-reviewed student growth goal. And the JCPS rubric and peer review process will ensure the rigor, comparability, and quality of our student growth goals across teachers and across classrooms in the health education and physical education in the district.